Welcome to another episode of Everything's Dumb. My name is Kate.
My name is Victoria.
And today we are talking about daylight standard time. Because I think that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Pro daylight savings.
Yes.
Anti any time of the year that is not daylight saving.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I have a question.
Okay.
So, are there specific, okay, I'm crazy. So, are there specific days that you have for different things that you do chore-wise? Like the example of this that's probably most common is like laundry day. Do you have a specific laundry day where you do laundry?
Nope. I do it when I don't have anything left to wear.
Okay. See, that is insane to me.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying that's the right way to do it.
Ah.
My
Is
life
that
is
just
a
your
disaster.
current situation?
No,
or...
it's always been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So even when you have full control?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last weekend I did laundry at my new apartment for the first time. Except for the time that I did it before we moved in, but we won't talk about that. So we have like a laundry room,
Mm-hmm.
and I did laundry here last weekend. And I'm planning on doing it this weekend as well. So I guess I'm just going to do my laundry on the weekends, but no, I don't have a dedicate. No, I don't know. I do my chores when it has become untenable not to do them.
Okay.
So, not a great system.
Okay.
Do you have advice?
I am
for
the
someone
opposite.
like me.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like we've talked
You're
about
way
this
more organized
before.
than I am.
I try. I stress myself out so much because I try. But like we've talked about this before with the 5-day work week episode. Like the worst part of the weekend is when you have to do all of those chores and all of that shit. Like it's your time off. It's your time to relax theoretically, and you spend at least half of it doing laundry and doing all your chores and stuff. So I try as hard as I can. I don't always do this, but I do have a system set up to where I get all of the things done that I need to get done throughout the week during the week.
Yeah.
So that on the weekend, I don't have a bunch of shit piled up.
That is very smart.
And I would like to take you through my week because I'm insane and I've worked on this.
Go for it. I really need some tips and tricks.
So Mondays are probably like they're the one day that I don't really have like a specific thing set for. It's usually whatever, because inevitably this fails, whatever I don't get done over the weekend. If I wanted to do something over the weekend, but I just couldn't motivate myself to do it or ran out of time or whatever, that will spill over into a Monday. Usually what I like to have happen with that is like meal prepping, because if I'm gonna do something on the weekend that's a chore, it's gonna be cooking or something, because I actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
I like cooking and baking and meal prepping and like figuring out what I'm gonna have throughout the week so that I don't have to get to the day and be like, shit, I don't have anything for lunch today. I don't have anything for dinner tonight and I'm starving and I'm just gonna end up having like a bowl of cereal.
Yep.
That is what I'm trying to avoid. So Mondays I'll do whatever I didn't get done crossed off from the weekend, or some to-do list item that I've had for weeks going that I try to tackle on Mondays. Tuesdays are trivia, so there's nothing then.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays have become podcasting days. But what they used to be, I used to try to clean on Wednesdays because Ryan goes to his acting class on Wednesday night, so it's the one time he's not streaming all night, so I can use the vacuum. Because when he is live streaming on Twitch, I cannot vacuum because it gets picked up on his microphone, this microphone, in this place. So Wednesday nights I usually like vacuum and mop and try to clean the apartment. Thursdays, rarely does this happen, but I try to do a spa night.
Ooh.
Which sounds much fancier than it is. It's really just like doing my nails, doing my toenails, doing my eyebrows, shaving my legs, like that, just the like regular upkeepy thing. Sometimes I dermaplane my face if I get the time to. I can do a facial mask or a steam or something. Like I try to do something a little bit, but it's really just like the upkeep day of like all the human things that you need. You need to trim your nails, and you need to like, I'll do like deep clean out my ears with peroxide or something, like some kind of just upkeep human thing. So that's Thursdays. Fridays I do try to not plan anything because I try to make that like part of the weekend, and then that's usually everything. If I can do all the cleaning in one night and all of the like stuff I need to do for myself in another night, I can usually just relax on the weekends. Maybe I'll have to run a couple of errands, but that's something I'll usually try to send Brian on throughout the week. But that's my advice. You just gotta like pick the days that make sense to do the things that you need to do, and then just like make an effort to. If I can just cry, if I just, some nights I don't get to the vacuuming, but I wipe down the bathroom. It takes 10 minutes to just wipe down the sink and the toilet in the bathroom or something like that. Just a little something that you can cross off your list that you don't then have to do and spend time on your weekend.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. And after we recorded the episode about the 5-day work week, gosh, that was difficult to say. After we recorded it, I realized that we talked about how the idea is that you have 8 hours of work and 8 hours of recreation and 8 hours of rest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, chores don't fit into any of those categories.
It's work.
That's like that's supposed to be your recreation. Like that's not right.
That should be what we do on Mondays.
Yeah.
Like Mondays should not be work days.
Right.
They should be getting all your shit done.
Like
days.
your household work.
Yeah. Running errands and doing all the chores around your house, and then like taking care of your shit, meal prepping for the week.
Yeah, so I think that you are on the right track. Do you do your laundry on your like vacuuming
Wednesdays
day?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the day I get in there is Wednesdays. So I try to do laundry on Wednesdays and clean everything.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find a weekday night where the laundry is not being used.
We can try to claim Wednesdays. I claimed Wednesdays because that's like one of the only days that the family that lives in one of the apartments that have
like 15 people who live in that apartment.
One of the only nights that someone from there is not doing laundry is Wednesdays. But because I'm the only person doing it and I do it every single week, I only ever have one load of laundry.
Oh, okay. Well, then
which is another life hack. If you can regularly do laundry to only have one load, I know you're supposed to separate your white and your color stuff. And
no,
I do not do that.
If I only have one load of laundry, then I just mix it all together.
I
only separate it when I haven't done laundry in like a month, and I'm like, well, I'm washing everything I own.
Luxury. I remember making it a point to buy more light colored things because I was like, I don't have a full. I never, even if every single item of clothing that I own is dirty, like that's still half a load of light stuff.
I own so many black items.
Yeah. I don't believe it. But yeah, I recommend trying to just check one little thing off.
Yeah, that's very smart. See, I think that's another thing that should be taught in school.
Yeah.
Like, you should pay attention to when you do your chores. And if you don't care to do, and you don't care that you do them all on the weekend, then do them all on the weekend, and that's fine.
Right.
But if you want to enjoy your weekends, then maybe do your chores during the week. It would have been great if someone had said that to me.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
I highly recommend. We used to clean on Thursdays before Brian started streaming, and I always loved that. I still like doing it on Wednesdays because my favorite thing was always waking up on a Friday morning, like the last day, getting ready to start the weekend, and having the apartment be completely clean.
Yeah.
And then after work, like you just come home to the cleanest version of your apartment, and it's just so relaxing. You don't have to do anything Friday night. You can just like come home and kick your shoes off and pour yourself a drink and just relax.
Yeah.
And know that everything's done and you don't have a whole weekend's worth of shit to do.
Yeah.
But now we podcast.
Yeah, and now our weekends are busy.
And podcast.
Full.
And podcast.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Okay, so today's topic is daylight standard time. Technically, I wanted to talk about daylight savings time, but since we're talking about the thing that's dumb, I think that the thing that's dumb is daylight standard time.
Yeah.
Not daylight savings time. Big fan. I say we save the daylight. We save the whales. We save the endangered species. We save the bees.
Mm-hmm.
We save the daylight. It's just better.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a better system.
Yeah, so over the summer, I'm sure it's different depending on how far north or south you live, but where we are during the summer, it stays late until like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe even a few minutes later, but then during the winter, it's dark at like 4:30.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into all of this. So a bit of the backstory and the history. 1784. We're taking it back.
Wow, yeah.
We're taking it back to Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Good old Benny. While living in France, because that's what you do as a founding father, Franklin jokingly suggested to people that people should wake up earlier to save candles.
Okay.
Off the cuff remark. Just trying to be charming.
Yeah.
With his syphilis. Somehow, this actually happens like a century later.
Okay.
Because he just spoke it into existence. Because back then, if you were a white male, you can just say things and then they happen.
So daylight savings did not start during his lifetime?
No.
Okay.
So...
I knew he had something to do with it, but...
Yes. He just randomly said that it would be, we could save on candles if everything was an hour earlier. Yeah. So this tradition of listening to those types of people does end. 1907, when British builder William Willett campaigned for daylight savings time to give people more sunlight after work.
Right.
The result of that is that no one listens, and he died before it actually happened.
Oh. That's sad.
He's just like us. It's like he was a woman. William Willett. Willie Wills.
Poor Willie. Willie Wills.
Will, I wonder what his middle name is.
Willoughby.
In 1916, Germany makes it official. During World War I, Germany adopts daylight savings time to save fuel.
Okay.
Britain and the US and others follow because when your enemies are adjusting your clock, it's probably a good idea for you to adjust your clocks as well.
Yeah.
So they were the trendsetters, and we all just followed suit.
Thank God for Germany.
Yeah, right? I mean, what could they do wrong? In 1942, the U.S. goes full-time for daylight savings time temporarily. So this was during World War II. FDR introduces wartime.
Oh.
Which is year-round daylight savings time. Like, we went on daylight savings time and never changed, but no switching of the clocks. And then, as soon as the war ends, daylight savings time goes away.
Why didn't they just keep it?
Because it wasn't wartime anymore. In 1966, the Uniform Time Act happens, this is when we kind of get a little bit more organized. So this is when we say that states can participate in daylight savings time if they want to, which is why Arizona and Hawaii say, yes, we want daylight savings time. We don't want to be doing this switching back and forth of the clock.
Yep.
And all the other states are like, nah.
Yeah, my brother and his wife used to live in Arizona, and his wife would comment about how they didn't have to always change their clocks twice a year, and I was very jealous.
Yep.
I thought California passed something.
Oh, yeah. So in 2007, we extended daylight savings time because everyone loves it. We basically pushed it to March, which is earlier, and then later in November. It used to be October to April, I believe. It was like the 6 month thing.
Okay.
Which I do have to say, the one cool thing about when it was in October, it was like the last weekend of October, I believe, or one of the last weekends of October, and sometimes it would fall on my birthday. And that was the one where you fall back.
Yeah.
So I had like a 25-hour birthday a few years.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
That's funny.
But then they moved it, and we just got more daylight savings. So even though I like didn't have it falling on my birthday randomly, I still was fine because I like daylight savings. Just like everyone else does. So today everybody just hates it. Like everybody hates moving the times back or moving the clocks back, and you know, some states voted to make it permanent. But apparently we have a federal law which says that we can't switch to year-round daylight savings without congressional approval.
Why? Wait, so in California voted for it, and then Congress was like, no?
So California voted in 2018, 62% of us voted for Prop 7, which didn't change the time just by us voting for it. It gave the state legislature permission to pursue daylight savings time, and they just didn't.
Well, they should have, because we fucking voted for it.
Yep.
I remember voting for that.
So after Prop 7, the California Assembly would need to pass a bill specifying year-round daylight savings time. That bill stalled in a committee in 2019 and has gone nowhere since.
That sucks.
Even if California passes the bill, Congress has to give federal approval by the state before the state can adopt permanent daylight savings time. So now we have to go to the federal government, who loves California, especially right now, and get federal approval for our fucking clocks.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
So much sense. Polls show that a majority of Americans prefer to stop the clock changes. Most want permanent daylight savings. No more standard time. Not standard around here. Fuck it. In 1974, the U.S. tried year-round daylight savings time. During the energy crisis, people loved the bright evenings but hated the dark mornings, and it flopped because they rolled it out mid-winter when sunrise was at like 9 a.m. So instead of like just keeping with the daylight, they switched it in the middle of the winter, and it was far too jarring for people because usually like it just slowly you kind of adjust to every few days, like every day a different minute, and it just slowly moves, and then you just adjust to it. But they like switched it in the middle of winter on people, and people freaked out about it. Switching the clocks back and forth leads to sleep disruption, car accidents, heart attacks. And everyone's just fucking pissed off.
I have heard that the week after you change the clocks, more people have heart attacks during that week than any other week of the year. And I don't know why, but I really struggled this past spring with changing the clocks. I mean, I was like messed up for like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And that's never happened before. And I was like, I still cannot get used to the
government basically
clocks
like
changing.
Steals an hour from us for our sleep and then gives it back to us months later. When nobody,
like 6 months later.
How many times do you wake up the next day in the fall when you've gotten an hour extra of sleep and be like, oh wow, I was so refreshed? Like, most of the time it's on a Saturday night, so you're staying up that late anyway. You're like, oh, it's 3 a.m. instead of 2 a.m, or it's 1 a.m. instead of 2 a.m. It's just, it doesn't, you don't feel the extra sleep you get, but you always feel the lack of sleep that you get. And it's just not, it's never worth it.
No, it's
ever.
Not.
Stupid.
I agree with you.
Stupid. So the thing that you were talking about is, yes, depending on where you are, it does matter where you are, north versus south, because the further north that you go, you get shorter days anyway in the winter. So that has an effect, but really where it counts is like whether you are more east or west in your time zone. Because the more east you are, like the more drastic it is. So we get it really hard here in Southern California. Like you were saying, it gets dark at 4:15 in the evening. And places,
which is crazy.
Fucking stupid. It's an afternoon. 4:15 is in the afternoon.
Because if you work, let's say 9 to 5, you leave work at 5 p.m. and it's already been dark for almost an hour. And if you get to work, you know, at 8:30 or 9 a.m., like you had a few hours of daylight in the morning while you were getting ready for work and then commuting to work, and that's the only time you see the sun all day. Is during your drive to work. That's awful.
And then you sit inside during the only sunlight that there is. So yeah, so places that are further west in their time zone would be better off, but if you're north enough, you
Right.
still get fucked over by this. Like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. So what do you do with your extra hour every fall?
Complain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I do like getting an extra hour of sleep, but like you said, it's on the weekend, so I'm usually probably up late anyway.
Right.
So I'm not mad that I get an extra hour, but yeah, it's not worth losing the hour in the spring. And then also in the fall, when I know that I got another hour, that is completely erased by the dread of the coming darkness of winter.
Right. Exactly.
And you and I talk about the weather all the time on the podcast, in real life,
Yep.
through text, over the phone. Like, we're always talking about the weather.
Yep.
And you hate winter because it gets dark so early.
Yep.
I love winter because it's finally like t-shirt weather. But I do really hate how dark it gets early.
It's so unmotivating.
It's a nice temperature for me, but then it gets dark like in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
The sun goes down.
Yeah. And all of my productivity that I was talking every night after
Yeah.
during the winter, that goes down the toilet.
Because it feels like it's bedtime.
Yeah. I should have already been, like, I haven't made dinner yet, and it's this dark.
Right. Yeah.
So, speaking of the federal government, the Sunshine Protection Act, which is the real name that was made up by adults that run our country, has been introduced multiple times to make daylight savings time permanent. It passed the Senate in 2022
So why?
because the House exists.
Ugh.
And it died in the House. It needs federal approval because of some weird clause in the Uniform Time Act of 1966. It says that we need federal approval to change this.
So Arizona and Hawaii, did they change their laws before this 1960 whatever law?
Yeah,
They,
during
like,
in
snuck it in?
1966, the Uniform Time Act was introduced, and it basically said that we were going to go on to daylight savings time, but if you didn't want to, you could opt out of it.
Oh, I
And
see.
back then, the House was filled with people that did shit.
Okay.
And so when Hawaii and Arizona wanted to opt out, they went to the Senate and the House, and they were both like, cool, you're good. Because
Gotcha.
we can sign a piece of paper, and we're not full of shit.
And
all
now
the
there's
time.
way too much red tape
Well, now there's
and
the
political hatred
current House.
of California.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's where we're at.
That's really good.
That's where we're at. My question for you. What is the most... I mean, it might be what you've already said, that you got really fucked up by it this year. But, like, what's the most... Have you ever made a big mistake or, like, had something happen that threw you off because of daylight savings?
No.
Okay.
I wish I had a funny answer for that, but I think the answer is no. I mean, I just spend the whole night, you know, if I have to work the next day, I spend the whole night trying to, like, recheck my alarms because I'm so nervous about it.
Have you ever forgotten?
That the clocks were going to change?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But it's never, like, made me late to work, or I've never shown up somewhere an hour early or an hour late.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, that was convincing.
I once showed up to work an hour early.
Okay. Better than an hour late, I guess.
Luckily, I had no idea. I showed up to work. I was working at a coffee shop at the time, and I was the opener.
Oh.
So I had the key. So I showed up, and I opened, and I brewed 2 big things of coffee, and I was standing there and just opening the store, and one of my regulars came in, and he was like, oh, cool, you guys are open so early. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's daylight savings. You guys are open an hour early. And I was like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out right now. I poured him his coffee. He paid me for the coffee.
Yeah.
And I kicked him the fuck out the door, and I went home, and I slept for another hour.
Seriously?
I lived 2 blocks from the place that I worked at.
Nice.
So I closed back up. There were not cameras. I closed back up, and I went home for another 45 minutes. And got back into bed, and I was like, it's fucking daylight savings! And I got back into bed and slept for another, like, 45 minutes. And
That's
just
really
got up
funny.
and went to work, and I didn't have to make the coffee because it was already made an hour ago.
Because you already made it.
Just sitting there getting room temp. But I mean,
That's not your
it
problem.
was in those thermosy things. It was
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
But yeah, so that yeah.
Yeah, I have woken up the next morning and felt a little off.
Mm.
And then I realized that my phone clock doesn't match the stove clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have had things like that where I've forgotten.
Yep.
But I've never shown up to work an hour early.
Have you ever seen anybody that refuses to change the clock in their car and they're like, I'll just wait for the next daylight saving?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll just wait until the fall and then it'll be right again.
I had this conversation very recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thought
With a
process
female?
was yeah, which is why I was so surprised.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's a choice.
This is not related to daylight savings, but you and I were in an Uber the other night and it was like 11:30 and the guy's clock said 6:33.
It was 6:15 or something. And
I was like this is not a daylight savings related.
I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah.
I don't think that's accurate at all.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've heard people be like, "Oh, I just never changed it, and it's already a few months later, so I'll just wait a few more months." And I'm like, it takes probably fewer than 20 seconds to change the time. You know what? People, they can do what they want.
Some of those car ones can be annoying though because you just have to go forward.
Yeah, you can't go back.
And so like, yeah, if it's the daylight savings where you're jumping forward, like, okay, you hit one button. But if you have to go forward to get to an hour behind, that can be annoying.
It can be. And, I mean, it's their car. They can do what they want. Yeah. I think it's a strange choice.
Yep.
But
it's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. All right, for our closing segment today, I want to play Never Have I Ever.
Okay.
But I'm just going to say one thing because we're almost out of time. But I think this would be fun if we did an ongoing Never Have I Ever segment where we just say things that we've never done that are, weird. Not like, never have I ever stabbed somebody in an alleyway on a Thursday.
Specifically on a Thursday.
Yeah, but,
Well, I've never stabbed anyone on a Thursday.
Things like that. Who would do it on a Thursday? The whole weekend ahead. That's the day for self-care. I'm doing my nails.
Mm-hmm.
So, for my Never Have I Ever, I came up with a really good one, something that I have never, ever, ever done in my entire life that many people think is weird, and many people have convinced me that I should do, and I don't agree with that sentiment. Maybe this will turn into, I do want to start doing episodes of Prove Me Wrong or Convince Me Otherwise or something like that, where we say something that we have an opinion about and the other person has to try to, I kind of did that with you in the last one with the Disneyland thing. It's just fun. You're like, no, but it's fun. It's so much money, but it's fun.
Well, I know that, I believe that going to Disneyland and going to Disney World is fun.
Yes.
My issue wasn't with the amount of fun that you'll have.
Yes.
It was with the cost of tickets.
Yes.
Compared to how much the average American makes in salary compared to how much the CEO of Disney makes. That was my issue.
I got that.
But anyway, continue.
So, for my Never Have I Ever, and maybe you can convince me that I should try this. I don't know. Maybe our listeners can convince me that I should try this. I have never been camping.
You've never been camping?
I've never been camping. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I've never been camping.
How?
Because my family left me.
Yeah, my family left me too, which is why we went camping all the time.
Ooh, no.
You guys never went camping?
Never went camping. No.
You never even, slept out in your backyard?
Not in my backyard. I did do that at a friend's house, I think, once.
Okay.
Where we, slept in a tent in their backyard, but I don't consider that camping because anytime I had to pee, I went inside. Yeah. And I don't think that that's what camping is.
I guess that's 10% camping.
Yeah.
You at least slept outside.
Yeah, I slept in a tent.
Yeah.
And that's about as close to camping as I've been.
Yeah, I have been camping.
And then we woke up and there were daddy long legs inside the tent with us, and I was not okay with that.
Well, they can't bite you.
I don't care.
Their mouths are too little.
I want them in my space. They can bite you. Mythbusters prove that.
Oh.
They don't do anything,
Okay.
but they can bite you. But they're not like poisonous or anything
Yeah.
like they're supposed to be. But yeah, never been camping. Don't really have an interest.
Well, I was going to
camping.
say, like, if I thought that you hadn't been camping and you were like, I just don't really care about it, I might be able to convince you to go.
That's true.
But I know you, and I know that you are not the type of person who would enjoy camping.
No.
So, like, I have a friend who I'm sure has never been camping, and I think that I could convince him to do it, and I think he would be a little freaked out. But I think he would still have a good time.
Mm.
Like, he would be like, there are a lot of bugs. And I'd be like, it's okay. And he'd be like, okay, cool. You know, like, I think I could just, like, talk him down every time he was freaked out about something. But you would just, there's nothing about it that you would enjoy.
I'm too stubborn.
Like, I like being outdoors. I like fresh air. I like being in the mountains where it's nice and cool. I like having a campfire with marshmallows and you, like, put on your sweater because it's a little chilly. Like, I don't think you would like any of that.
I like marshmallows.
Right. But you can eat marshmallows on your couch.
Very much so.
I just really like being in nature.
Mm.
Especially after living in a city for so long. Like, the fresh air would, like, smell so good and would feel so good. And, like, waking up in the morning to, like, not the sound of traffic would just be so lovely.
I don't wake up to the sound of traffic.
Oh. Or the sound of someone, like, throwing beer bottles out of the recycling dumpster out back.
That I do wake up to sometimes.
Yeah.
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 But I wake up and I feel like that's the thing. Because our friend Rachel has tried to convince me to go camping several times. And I'm just like, I wouldn't sleep. Like, I don't sleep well regularly at home in a bed with a regulated temperature in the room and access to anything that I could need. I don't sleep well doing that. I just know that that would be a whole night of me not sleeping.
Yeah, okay. I think if you're going to go camping, you should start at a young age so that you get used to it.
Okay.
I don't think the first time to go camping is in your late 30s.
Okay. Well, so I won't do that in 10 years. So
Late 20s.
Yeah.
Late teens.
Yeah. Late teens. Yeah. I just don't.
Because I think I grew up going camping constantly.
Okay.
Like, all the time. We would go camping at...
Basically how you live. Down in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
With my Mennonite family.
Mm-hmm. The barn had
and
a roof,
our horses.
Right? Okay. The barn had a roof.
We would go camping all the time. Just on the other side of the mountain, there was a place called Sharonda Lake, and it was a really big lake with like beaches that you could swim on and hiking trails and campsites. So we go camping there quite often. I went to a family reunion once where, like, my mom and my uncle didn't want to pay for hotels, so we all just camped. And then it rained in the middle of the night and we all got flooded, so then we had to go sleep in the car.
So the thing about not paying for... You still have to pay for a campsite. That's the other thing.
But it's so much cheaper.
I know, but...
A campsite is like... I mean, back then it was probably $10 for the night, as opposed to, like, 2 hotel rooms for our family.
Okay, that makes... that.
These days I'm sure it's more expensive, especially with, like, glamping or whatever the fuck.
To me, with the whole thing... That's the only way I would go. But to me, the whole thing with, like all the reasons to go camping, the problem I would run into with Rachel, other than, like, I just know I wouldn't sleep and I would wake up and feel sick and, like, just want to go home and go sleep.
Yeah.
Is I was like, but I'm still paying for my apartment for that night, right? Like, I still have to pay 30 days of rent for that month. So I'm paying for an apartment and then I'm going to go sleep out.
But people who go camping, like, for the weekend, they're not viewing it as, I'm homeless for the weekend, so let me sleep in this tent. They view it as, like, a very mini, like, kind of immersed in nature vacation.
Right. Whereas that's my joke about it, is that it's like LARPing homelessness.
Yeah.
Where
I mean, I'm just not going to be able to change your mind.
No.
Like, you just wouldn't like it.
I don't think so.
Right. And even I, who grew up camping constantly, like, in college, I dated a guy who lived in another town, and sometimes when he would come to visit, we would camp for the weekend because I didn't like my roommate and I didn't want to have my boyfriend in our dorm room with this awful girl. So, like, I would be like, take me away from here for the weekend. So we would just go to a campsite and he would, like, bring a tent and we would camp for the weekend.
Okay.
Like, that's how comfortable I at least used to be with camping. I haven't been in a few years. And now that I have sleep problems, maybe I wouldn't enjoy it.
Do you pee in a hole?
Most campsites have bathrooms.
Okay. I just always pictured the going out in the woods.
Yeah.
And you have to build your own fire and you have to dig a hole to.
Well, also my 8th grade trip that I went on, we went canoeing down the Swanee River for a week. And we were at a different campsite every night, so we had to build a fire from scratch.
Oh my god.
And you did have to go pee in the woods. And that was one of those weeks that was it was not fun at the time.
Yeah.
And then for the next 10 years looking back at it was also not fun. But now that so much time has passed, I can just laugh about it. And I can be like, well, that built a shit ton of character.
The trauma doesn't hurt as much anymore.
Right, exactly. It was not fun.
Oh,
especially because you saved up for that trip for 8 solid years. You started in 1st grade doing fundraisers and everything.
Oh, Jesus.
And so we all thought we were going to Europe. We thought we would go to Paris for the week.
How much of that money was just the insurance?
I'm sure a lot of it.
Taking a bunch of children to random campsites
15
in the woods.
kids.
That is a horror film.
Yeah. And then it rained really hard and the river was already flooded, so a lot of the campsites along the side of the river were flooded. The water was up halfway up the trees. And then one night we had to camp in someone's backyard and there were all these signs that said trespassers will be shot. And so the guy leading our trip was like, just don't turn your flashlights on.
Holy shit.
And we'll be getting up really early in the morning.
Oh my god. So you camped in someone's backyard and they didn't know?
No, because this was on the shores of the river and their house was up from the river. So they didn't
No adult went up to the house and was like, hey,
no,
can you not murder all these children? Wow. Okay.
We just went to sleep and we stayed very quiet. And then we left as soon as the sun came up.
Wow. Okay.
So
it's a lot of.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable camping. Like I said, I haven't been in a few years, so I'm a little rusty, but I would not be freaked out. I think that you would just hate it.
Yeah.
And you would have to go into it with an attitude of I'm going to keep an open mind and maybe I won't get a full 8 hours of sleep, but maybe I'll have a good time. I don't think that you would have that frame of mind. I think you'd be going in being I cannot wait to point out every single time that I'm right.
I just feel I just don't know what I would get out of it that I couldn't get at home, I guess. Because when Rachel was pitching it, she was like, we could like stay up and drink. And I was like, I can do that.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like being out in the woods, you're not going to like it. Like if you don't crave like being out in nature, you're going to be like, I just want to be back in my apartment.
Yeah.
Whereas like me in my apartment, I'm like, I really want some fresh air.
I crave being like outside, having a drink, in a pool, something like that. But then I crave like, oh, I have to pee, I'm going to run inside.
Yeah. Well, again, like a lot of campsites have bathrooms.
And beds. Cozy beds and temperature control.
No, not temperature control, but if you go in like the spring, it's not bad. You obviously take blankets or a sleeping bag. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know, it's just you just pack up all your friends and you pack up a bunch of alcohol and a bunch of cookies and you go hang out in the woods and it's a good time.
Okay.
But I will never take you camping because I want to have fun while I'm camping and I don't want to have a friend sitting there being a sourpuss about it.
Let's go to Vegas.
I will also go to Vegas with you. So
okay.
Opposite ends of the spectrum. But I will enjoy both of them. So
okay. Well, now that we have that settled, our next episode is out on Monday, and we will be talking about sunburn.
Yes, a topic I know well.
So we talked about daylight.
Yeah.
And how much we like the sun.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk about how awful it is for our skin.
Yeah. I like when the sun is visible in the sky.
Yes.
And then
Love
when
sunshine.
I am inside with shade and also sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I just said about camping, I do like being outdoors.
I was just going to say, this is very opposite of your
under the shade of a tree.
Yes.
So, yeah. Yeah. Sunburns are near and not very dear to my heart, so we're going to talk about it.
Yes. She got a sunburn, like, on her chest.
Yep.
It's near her heart. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. You can catch more audio episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can catch more video episodes on Spotify and YouTube. Please subscribe, like, leave us a review, follow us at Everything's Dumb Pod on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you have a dumb topic that you want us to do an episode about, please let us know. Or if you have any content that you want us to read or be entertained by, if you think you can convince me to go camping, fucking have at it. You can reach out to us at everythingsdumbpod@gmail.com or on social media and any places I just talked about. And we will see you on
Friday.
Did I say Monday before? Next episode comes out on Friday.
Oh.
Today is Monday.
I think you did say Monday.
I think I'm a little confused.
I'm always confused.
Really don't want to go camping.
Yeah. Your brain was occupied.
Yep.
With the horrors that maybe someone would drag you camping one day.
That's never happening. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
See you next time.